Yo, what is up folks? My name is Patrick, host of EDH Brutality, and welcome back to another video here on the channel. Are you in search for those auto includes for your next EDH deck? Well, search no more, because today we're going to discuss just that with these Commander staples. Let's get into it. Welcome back everybody, welcome back to the channel. Now before we dive right into today's content, I just want to thank you all once again for dropping by. And today's video is going to be revolving around Commander staples or auto includes in the format known as Elder Dragon Highlander. Now if you don't know what a Commander staple is, it is a popular and stronger card in the game of Magic the Gathering that is used in a wide variety of decks regardless of that deck's archetype. However, with that said, it should be noted that a deck full of staples will never reign superior in a game if it is piloted incorrectly. So if you've got them, run them. If not, it shouldn't impede things too much. And with that out of the way, let's discuss today's auto includes. To kick things off today, we've got the color that started it all, known as mono black. Being a color without copious amounts of card draw, we are going to pair this with Read the Bones. For 2 colors and 1 black, this sorcery seed spell says scry 2, then draw 2, and lose 2. It is a great auto include for any deck with black in it, and without the copious amounts of card draw, another 2 cards we can include in any deck with a color black are both Vampiric and Demonic Tutor. Both have similar effects where we get to search our deck for one specific card and either put it on top of our library or in our hand. Now once more, these cards are not essential towards any Magic the Gathering deck. However, if you have them, may as well play them. And with that, we'll jump right into the color known as blue. Once again, before building any mono blue deck, before I even pick out my commander or the creatures or the land base, the first cards I will add to any deck with a color blue start with both a Mystic Remora and a Rhystic Study. Mystic Remora essentially is a cumulative upkeep machine that will let you draw cards for every non-creature spell played as long as the controller does not pay 4 mana upon casting, while Rhystic Study is just like that guy that works at McDonald's and always asks if you want to upgrade to a large for an additional 50 cents more. And listen, I don't want to spend the extra money for a large, I said I wanted a small. So go ahead and draw your card. But if we're playing blue, we also need some sort of counterspell effect, as blue is the color known for dealing with threats as they are being cast. So if we're running a blue deck without a counterspell, is it really blue? And speaking of threat removal, we've got the color of white. In any white deck, I'll include both Path to Exile and Swords to Plowshares. Both are 1 mana white instants that will exile a target creature. While one exiles and the controller gains life equal to that creature's power, and the other allows that player to ramp for a specific land of their choice, they are both great includes to remove threats on the board. However, just like black, we are not equipped with the proper draw spells in mono white, so if you're playing it in the color of whites, you may as well add land tags to your deck. This is a great way to thin out your deck, get those basics, ensure those land drops, and if you always pair this with a scroll rack, oh, beautiful. To reiterate, these cards alone will not be enough to win your next EDH match. However, they are great includes regardless of your deck's sub-goal, theme, and primary goal. But are we feeling a bit ambitious now? That's the next question, because with ambition, we will jump right over to the color of green, a color known for ramping, getting out those lands, and having explosive mana to use at our disposal. So what cards to better equip our deck with other than Rampant Growth and Cultivate? Both are sorcery seed spells that state, search your library for up to 2 basic land cards, reveal those cards, put one onto the battlefield tapped and the other into your hand. Then shuffle your library. And just like the land tags before, these 2 cards are great auto includes for any deck with a color green, as they both thin your deck and ensure those land drops. But what's the use of a library without perhaps the best library of them all, known as Sylvan Library? This 1 colors and 1 green enchantment reads, at the beginning of your draw step, you may draw 2 additional cards. If you do, choose 2 cards in your hand drawn this turn. For each of those cards, pay 4 life or put the card on top of your library. Think of this as an effect to look at the top 2 cards of our library in our draw step. If we decide we want to keep any of those cards, we're going to pay 4 life for each of them. If not, we can put them back, no harm, no foul. And while we're on the topic of harm, let's change our focus over to our red cards. If we're playing in red or even mono red, we are more than able to add Blasphemous Act to our brews, as well as Vandal Blast. Both are different types of board wipes that will leave our opponents crippled. And then of course, if we want to accelerate, a great include no matter what deck it is a Dockside Extortionist. For 1 colors and 1 mana, this Goblin Pirate reads: when Dockside Extortionist enters the battlefield, create X treasure tokens, where X is the number of artifacts and enchantments your opponents control. And as stated prior, all of these cards displayed in this video, although they won't outright win you the game, it doesn't matter what your deck does, because these cards are good enough to where you can include them in your brew, and they'll still work towards your game plan that you had arranged prior to their inclusion. For ramp, I don't think it's too far-fetched to say that everyone and their mother is running an Arcane Signet as well as a Soul Ring. If you want to get further along the lines to Commander staples adding in any deck, in mine, personally, I always add Mirrored Landscape for further ramp as long as I'm running enough basics, as well as Temple of the False God. This is essentially a Soul Ring on a land as long as I have 5 or more lands in play. All great and worthy includes that each and every Commander deck should have. But what is an EDH Brutality video without either some land hate or land destruction? So I highly recommend adding Strip Mine or Wasteland to deck. If you have both, that's even better. Both these puppies can still tap for 1 colorless mana and are severely underrated, especially in EDH. Picture this: there's a black player out of control with the Cabal Coffers generating gobs of mana. No problem, just sacrifice the Strip Mine. But hey, what about the green player with that Gia's Cradle and his token army? Just sacrifice the Wasteland. You get the points. If there's a problem, these guys can deal with it. And better yet, if you pair these with a white deck and you can go with a land tax, you can sacrifice them, set your enemy behind, and as long as you stop an opponent with more lands than you, since you are trashing a land yourself, you will get your land tax trigger. And with that, we will conclude today's episode. I all hope you are able to take home a new piece of information and apply it to your deck building with cards I honestly feel should be a staple in each and every EDH deck. And as always, if you'd like to stay tuned for more feature videos here on the channel, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the red bell down in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. So that being said, my name is Patrick, host of EDH Brutality. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And I will see you in the next video. Peace out, guys.